Welcome to the Spongecast, Investor Meets Director. As an activist investor, I like to chat to the companies that I invest in addition to producing various research notes, as you'll see on my website, spongeshare.com. Please note I may hold a position in the companies mentioned and I'm not offering investment advice.
Goldstone Resources CEO Emma Priestley. Thanks for joining me, Emma, from Ghana, I believe.
I am in Ghana. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's been a while since we chatted. Obviously, we've had a bit of a pandemic emerge since then, but looks like we're moving forwards through that now. Okay, so how is the COVID out there?
It's here. It's everywhere. But we'll look, as a company, we've motored on at the actual site up in Hamasi. We're all working in our own little bubble up there. I'm down in Accra at the moment because obviously I've got meetings to have for the company. But everybody's taking it very seriously. We're hand sanitizer everywhere, wash stations everywhere. Everybody's wearing masks. You know, it's the new accessory. But but like England, nobody goes out. Look, restaurants are open. We can actually go out and talk to people and have meetings, but everybody is observing the social distancing. We've just got to be careful. But we're down here. We want to crack on. We don't want to sit in England and everywhere else, just watching time go by.
Yeah, absolutely. So just before we have a chat then about yesterday's news and the company's plans, can you, just for those new to Goldstone who may not know the story or who you are, just give a quick overview, please?
Of Goldstone. Yes, Goldstone, obviously listed on AIM, and the ticker is GRL. Goldstone has been on the market for a number of years. It was always known as an exploration company, but since I came in and took over the reins 2017, formally, I've brought in good new set of shareholders, brought in a new board, and we've turned it into a development company. And we operate in Ghana. We sit in the shadows of the Obuasi mine, which is owned by AngloGold Ashanti, and obviously one of the larger gold mines on the planet. And we are looking now to move into the development stages of our Hamasi operation, which will be a surface mining. And also we have one former old underground mine that was abandoned in 1909 that we shall come on to later, I'm sure. And we have two very good licenses that I'm sure we're going to be developing as the time goes by. But anyway, let's hope that's a nice overview.
Yeah, that's great. So on to the news yesterday then. So long-awaited award of the environmental permit. Seems like we had to wait forever for that, but obviously given the COVID situation. So that's great news. And what are the company up to now then? Now that permit's been awarded, is it all systems go on the ground there?
It is. Sleeves up, all systems go. We even got my chairman coming down. Gonna put him to work. Don't think he'll mind me saying that. No, we're a very active board. I think I've said that previously to you. Whilst Bill is a non-exec chairman, he's through his investment, because Parakali has got 28% of the company, and obviously his other businesses that Bill has, he brings a lot of support and that experience and expertise to the business. The team on the ground is obviously implementing all the design plans that were put together in that definitive economic plan that was actually announced in 2019. Gosh, it seems an age ago, but as you say, 2020 we had a pandemic, so we all had to live with it. And look, during lockdown last year, the company, we didn't sit around. We were procuring the plant and equipment, and we got it all shipped to Ghana so that everything was waiting. A lot of the prefabrication of plant that would normally have been undertaken at site, we actually got that done at suppliers' sites, and then obviously shipped it from there. So we were very busy during lockdown, and I think I've said in a press release that we have everything there, and we've obviously, I do know the press release just before Christmas, we announced that obviously all the plant and equipment was at site. It's all been received. Everything's been checked by our people at site, and it's all ready to be set up, ready to start the mine and the processing.
I saw from your Twitter account some pictures on there of the equipment, and it's all said it's all been sort of cold commissioned, ready to go, sort of thing. So that probably explains why it's sort of such a short lead time to actually first gold pour.
It is, and you've also got as I said, I've already alluded to. You've got to remember who is on the board, and and the people I've got working on the ground. I've got a lot of expertise there, and a great team that have really stood by me whilst we've been waiting for this permit to come through, and as have our shareholders. So thank you to them. But what Goldstone has with their experience and expertise is also not just for implementing a mine, is also the network and access to suppliers and plant and equipment. So so we have been able to put it all together, even during a pandemic, and get it delivered to Ghana. So everything that we've got there, it isn't yellow and shiny and doesn't have a bow, but it will work, and it will bring the Hamasi mine into production, and it will be there for years to come. So we've been busy.
Great stuff. So you were also busy since we last spoke, drilling, and you actually completed a drilling campaign at Hamasi South, and that resulted in a 257% increase just at the Hamasi South pit, if my memory serves me right. Which means, does that mean that you're going to be working on updating the definitive economic plan and the JORC resource as well to factor that resource in?
Yes, we do. Look, that drilling was obviously infill drilling that led to the pit definition for the Hamasi South, and also gave us the confidence that we can expand into a much larger pit. Now, the DEP is being updated on the back of those results, and also on the back of, look, there is a strong gold price, and we're also accommodating the remainder of the Hamasi strike, which of course is the JORC resource runs along 4.4 kilometers and goes down. Goes down on average to about 200 meters. Now there are gaps in that data that obviously we need to review, but all the historical data that led up to the JORC resource being signed off in 2012, and with the infill drilling and other programs that we've done, because obviously we did a very large soils anomaly program, and we've done quite a lot of auguring, and we've done a lot of trenching. We're going to gather all that data together. We are reviewing all the historical data because, people forget, but Hamasi and Akrikari have had a lot of owners over this last 40 years. And compiling all that data, drawing it together and bringing it all into one collective database so that we can review it all is still ongoing. So there's a lot of work going into this update of this DEP, and we're confident that that mineable resource is going to increase. You've asked if we're going to be looking to increase the JORC resource. That is the objective, certainly, for this year. But we will have to undertake drilling in order to allow that JORC calculation to take place. So we're going to be busy this year.
Okay, all right, that's good. So on that subject, with the resource increase, you said in one of your RNSs that should significantly increase production, and that, from my memory, is the original, from over and above the original 14,000 ounce per annum. So do you have an estimate or a target for sort of where you think you're going on annual production, and how that will ramp up?
Yeah, I've got a target, but anyway, I think we'll be a few years off that target. Look, the DEP and obviously when the review and the updating of that report comes out, it will lead to a significant ramp up in our production. Excellent. So look, it will be. We're looking for it to be significant above that original 14,000 ounces per annum that we originally reported.
Okay, that's great. I mean, obviously this is phase one as well, right? So I mean, it's the start of a journey where it looks like there could be significant expansion as we move forwards.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And I think it is always a good reminder to people that this is phase one of a much larger project.
Great. Okay. So yeah, moving on from that then. So as you move towards, the focus currently is on first gold pour, getting that operation up and running, which is great, and what should be the focus. But do you have other plans for Hamassi that you're drawing up? So things like getting into the other pits. The Hamassi trend has lots of exploration scope. I mean, are we eventually looking at potential sort of multi-million ounce resource across both projects, given the sort of, how much, additional scope there is?
We are is the short answer. Look, there is the potential there. There is, yeah. I can't actually remember who said it, but there was a former head of one of the major mining houses who famously said, if you're looking for more ounces, look in the shadow of the head frame. Now we are sitting in the shadow of Obuasi, which is 15. Well, Hamassi sits 15 kilometers away, and obviously between Hamassi and Obuasi, we've got the former underground mine of Akrokeri, which we haven't commented on for a while. But the plans for this year is to review the data that we have. We want to build on that. We want to increase the mineable resource, and of course, we are only currently working on that Hamassi license on about 10% of that license. So there's another 90% yet to explore. There is a lot of historical activity. We're still going through archives. We've discovered that we've got more colonial adits and probably a lot of Galamsey adits as well. But these have all got to be looked at. We need to send the geologists in there to do their exploration, map them, take any features, so that we're starting to build. We're building that story, but it's not a story. This is fact. And the Hamassi, this first pit, is going to be, I'd like to say, the start of many, but it's going to be the start of something much larger to come.
Yeah, I'm glad you. Yeah, I'm sort of glad you clarified that, because that was one of the things. I mean, it's very easy when people hear that there's something called Hamassi, and you've got a phase one pit, and then you've got other pits as well. But the scope of the actual license itself, and I think you've just basically hit. Well, I mean, it's nice to know what you're saying is that really we're only scratched the surface at the moment of what potentially is a Hamassi. We haven't. Which is great, but we haven't even talked about Akrokeri yet. But I mean, that's the underground mine that you mentioned, which I think had some very high grades, and it was mined in the early 1900s, and then I think it was shut in. Are you going to realistically do anything with Akrokeri this year, or are you going to be focusing on Hamassi?
We are going to do something with Akrokeri this year. The key thing well, let me start again. We put a lot of attention on Akrokeri, but obviously getting into old mines, accessing old mines is a difficult affair, unless of course you've got good old companies like Cementation or whatever they're called now, with their fancy equipment that can come and access it, but they also come with a very large invoice attached as well. So look, yes, all attentions are on Hamassi at the moment. What we do need to do at Akrokeri, we are going to look at a more structured program there. We will probably look to get some drilling done there. That's going to be a known operation we're going to be doing, and obviously we'd like to get stuck in there this year. So yes, that is most definitely on the in tray to look at this year.
Okay, brilliant. So I mean, you've sort of probably partially answered this, but I was sort of heading for the closeout in terms of just trying to sort of get a flavour really for what you're planning to do this year. So I mean, what if I was to ask you, what are your sort of key milestones for the company this year? What are you looking to achieve, and then perhaps across the next sort of 5 years, which I know is a long way out, what's your sort of aspiration for Goldstone?
I do have an aspiration, and
I mean, I have an aspiration, but Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I guess it's.
you want a pound. You want a pound a share. Yes, there you go. I think we're all looking at that. Look, let's get into the reality. Look, the key things for Goldstone on the Hamassi project, and then obviously we need to incorporate Akrikeri, because that is a separate project in its entirety. We want to increase that mineable resource. We want to increase that JORC resource. We do have additional targets that are along strike and also in parallel, and these have all got they've all got to come into fruition. So there is a lot on that in tray that's going to keep this company busy in Ghana for the next couple of years. I mean, ultimately, there will be an underground mine here. Aspirations over 5 years. Look, it's I was going to say it's every CEO's dream to grow that company and to become the next midterm gold producer. But we've got to be sensible. There's a lot of targets within the licenses that Goldstone holds. We are going to focus on those. We're going to make them work for the company. And then obviously, if opportunities come along, of course, we will look at them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so it sounds like we're going to get an updated DEP. We're going to have some drilling thrown into the mix at some point. We're going to be getting further data and potentially a JORC resource on updated JORC resource on Hamassi, and some progress on Akrikeri as well. Would that be fair to say?
Certainly is. Yes. Thank you. And I look forward to chatting to you in a couple of months when we're a little bit further down the production line.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll do that. Perhaps when you've sort of started your first sort of gold production, we can catch up again and just get an update.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for chatting, Emma, and speak to you again soon.
Most definitely. Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers.
Bye-bye.